A very warm welcome. My name is Gabriele Jacobs. I'm the Dean of the Erasmus University College. In normal times, we would meet in our beautiful historic building in the center of Rotterdam. As sad as it is that we cannot meet in person, this digital format might also have the advantage that it might invite even more of you to have a closer look at our university college, as you do not need to take the time to travel to us. In this video, our student ambassador Victoria Plus and I are taking you on a little tour to our Liberal Arts and Science Bachelor. I will talk a bit about the general ideas of a Liberal Arts and Science Bachelor and the specific features of our college here in Rotterdam. Victoria will share with you how it is to be a student and tell also a bit about her personal experiences. Our building and our student residence are literally in the heart of Rotterdam. The University College is next to the famous Market Hall, and our student residence is right opposite of the City Hall. Erasmus University College is a proud citizen of this cosmopolitan city with its avant-garde art and architecture scene. Rotterdam has one of the biggest harbors in the world and is the home to more than 170 nationalities. Our close connections with the city are important to us, as it allows us to teach with what we call open windows, thus to directly integrate societal topics into our classroom. What does Liberal Arts and Science stand for? For us, Liberal Arts and Science means that we have an interdisciplinary program where students learn the main insights from several different disciplines, ranging from psychology and sociology over economics and philosophy to biology and medicine. The open window I just mentioned are a core feature of our program, namely that we are in our educational approach societal engaged and aim for the education of critical world citizens. Next to being proud citizens of Rotterdam, we are also proud members of our university, namely the Erasmus University Rotterdam. Erasmus University is a top university and competes in several disciplines on the global level. Desiderius Erasmus Rotterdamus, a philosopher and writer, was the name giver of our university, and we aim to live up to his main ideas. He was known to be a thinker with both feet firmly on the ground and to consider the whole world as his home, quae vis terra patria. When we say that we aim for educating our students for world citizenship, we mean that we systematically invite our students to reflect on their traditions and taken for granted assumptions, and to train discussing with each other on the basis of mutual respect for reason. Next to this, we educate students to think as citizens of the whole world, and not only some local region or group. In order to achieve this, our community approach is central. Living together with fellow students from many backgrounds and the intense interactions with our staff allow students to take the perspective from someone who is very different from oneself. Why do we actually think that liberal arts and science is a relevant and powerful educational approach? We are convinced that the liberal arts education provides our students with the necessary knowledge and instruments to address current and future societal challenges. It needs broad, flexible, and sharp minds in order to come up with groundbreaking innovations. The grand societal challenges of our time, such as climate change, the health crisis, forced displacement, poverty, war, or inequality, are all highly complex phenomena. Such complexity needs the ability to take different perspectives and to ask the right questions to a very broad set of scientific disciplines. We train our students to be able to do exactly this. To become more concrete, let's look into what we offer exactly. We offer education in multiple disciplines, and we provide a broad portfolio of majors within these disciplines. Our educational community is very international and inclusive. The educational format is aimed at the activation of students and is very intense and small scale. Our educational program looks in a nutshell like this. We start with an academic core where our students get a broad overview of all disciplines we offer. These are courses like Big History, Economic Behavior, Brain and Behavior, or Modernity, or Human and Society. Next to this, we provide a solid training in research methods. Our students learn both qualitative and quantitative research methods and get an overview of scientific practices applied in various disciplines. In the first year, can students only choose 3 courses freely, as we feel that we need to first provide our students with a good basis so that they can make an informed decision on what they like to focus on in year 2 and 3. By the way, in total has our Bachelor 180 European credits, or short ECs, just like every other European Bachelor program. In the second and third year, do our students have a broad choice of courses, depending on their major. At the end of year 1, our students will need to choose a major from each of the 4 departments at the Erasmus University College. Which are these? In year 2 and 3, our students can choose majors out of 4 departments: Economic and Business, Humanities, Life Sciences, and Social and Behavioral Sciences. All 4 departments are closely linked with the faculties of Erasmus University Rotterdam. This also leads to the unique characteristics of the Erasmus University College, namely that we have, next to the classic offers of a university college in humanities and social and behavioral sciences, also strong offers in economics and business and life sciences. Both disciplines, economics and life sciences, are core strengths of our university and essentially contribute to the strong international position of Erasmus University Rotterdam. Our pre-med major offers a direct connection to the medical master at the Erasmus Medical Center via a 1-year pre-master program. Next to this, we have connection to virtually all master programs at Erasmus University. And in nearly all cases, there is not an additional pre-master program needed. Another very specific feature of our college is the strong collaboration with the excellent art and music school in Rotterdam via the so-called Rotterdam Art and Science Lab. The so-called RASL network makes it possible that our students can follow a double degree program with arts. Within the double degree program, our students have, after 5 years, 2 diplomas. One from the Erasmus University College and one from either the Willem de Kooning Academy in, for example, product design or illustration, or from CODATS in, for example, classical music or jazz. For those that are interested, I advise you to check our website for more information or to get in contact with my colleague Montse Hichareda. You will find her email address also on our website. Each of our 4 departments offers various different majors from which our students can choose. Some of these majors are monodisciplinary, such as our major in neuroscience, molecular and cellular biology, or economics, psychology, or cultural analysis. Next to this, we have also majors which are interdisciplinary and cross-cut departments, such as our major in public and global health, sustainability or politics, philosophy and economics. After students went through our very intense 3-year program, they hold a bachelor degree in liberal arts and sciences in their hands. What's next? We see that most of our students choose a master program from Erasmus University. As you can see from the slide, do we see a preference to follow a master at Erasmus University and the two specifically strong disciplines, economics and medicines. But students also decide to continue their study within another of our excellent faculties at Erasmus University in, for example, psychology or philosophy. Next to studying in Rotterdam, many students also choose a master from another Dutch university or continue their master study outside the Netherlands. Here you see an impression of some of our students who decided to stay at Erasmus University or to go to other Dutch or international universities. We are proud to hear back from our alumni that they feel very well prepared for their master studies. Many of our students report back that they learned to organize themselves, to work hard, and to have an open and curious mind, which helps them through their master education and eases their start into the job market. Last but not least, I'd like to share with you how we handle the COVID-19 situation. COVID-19 is a global health crisis, which also means for us at Erasmus University College a serious challenge. We decided right from the start that we approach this crisis as a community. Our honor code, responsibility, respect, comprehension and commitment is the guideline for all decisions we take. Our teachers and support staff show utmost flexibility in translating our courses and examination into hybrid formats, which means that our students can follow their education as much as possible from campus in our spacious building or in a flexible hybrid manner. Our student community is very much aware of the responsibility they have for each other and our staff when it comes to respecting COVID-19 guidelines. We also felt that we need a joint sense-making process as a community. Jointly, with staff and students, we discuss in a series of lectures from renowned scientists from Erasmus University the complex implications of COVID-19 and how we can learn from multiple disciplines. After giving you some general impressions of our education at the Erasmus University College, I now hand over to our student ambassador, Victoria Plas.
Hello everyone, I'm Victoria Plas, a third-year student here at EUC with a major in business, and I will be telling you a bit more about student life at EUC. Usually in a normal setting, our classes are composed of about plus minus 12 people. The classes are student-led and therefore gets all students to be more involved in the material of the subject. Each PBL session has one student that is in charge of making sure that all readings are discussed and all questions are posed and answered. This person would be the chair. And the idea of the chair is really great because everyone gets a turn to chair a class, and therefore, for the people that don't raise their hands as much, it makes it much easier to contribute. The whole system, in my opinion, is great because personally I notice that when being part of the material by discussing it, it is so much easier to understand and maintain this new information. As well as that, because all students are so involved in the class, if you don't understand something, the rest can always help out. Personally, I have had some classes for me that the material felt a bit harder to understand. And luckily, there was always at least one person that did understand it and therefore could help me understand it as well. It might happen that sometimes the whole class has difficulty with a certain concept or theory. So luckily, there is always an expert tutor present that makes sure everything is discussed, and when information is not understood correctly, that they can intervene and make sure that everyone does understand. Another interesting aspect of EUC includes our student housing. All first-year students are required to live on our campus building, which is what we like to call Lucia, as it is located on St. Lucia Street. Here in this image, you can see what one of our apartments could look like. Each student has their own studio, which has a kitchen and bathroom, which they do not have to share with anybody. I really loved living in those studios a lot because you get to know everyone from your year and meet friends that you might even live with later on. I actually met one of my roommates because she lived right across from me at Lucia. And besides the apartment itself, you also get to share common spaces. These are really nice for when you want to hang out with people living in Lucia. Even though now this happens less because of the restrictions of COVID-19, when you are able to use it, it is a great place for being with a bigger group of people. In my first year, we used to have movie nights and potluck dinners in this common room. Besides this, Lucia also has study spaces in the basement, which is great for when you want to study or work on something with a group, or even when you can't concentrate and maybe cannot do that in your room. Besides studying, EUC also offers a wide range of activities that we can do. As you can see in this list, it includes many different things such as the Engaged Citizen program, the Arts and Culture program, guest lectures, film nights, and also social events. A social event which I really like is EUC's Dies Natalis. Each year we celebrate the birthday, of sorts, of our study. It is always a lot of fun at these events. We have speeches by different faculty members, as well as music performed by EUC band and other students. And everyone gets dressed up to celebrate. From what I've noticed, these types of events really bring everyone at EUC together. You get to talk to the faculty members in a more relaxed setting, as well as get to know more of your fellow EUC students. Many of our social activities typically come from EUCSA. EUCSA is the student association at EUC. Our association includes 22 different clubs, which all host events. This ranges from music committees, where all events are based around music, to EUCX Inspire, which is a committee that hosts events such as TED Talks. You can go to any event or even sign up to be part of a committee, which you're interested in. In my first year, I was actually part of the music committee, and we hosted all kinds of events, such as an open mic night, but also music quizzes and karaoke events. So if you have something that you're really interested in, then joining a committee is always fun because you get to think of and plan events surrounding your interests. And even if you don't find a committee that you might want to join, you can even start a committee yourself. Also, EUCSO hosts all kinds of larger social activities, such as the annual gala, but also smaller ones, such as the social drinks every other week. Anyone can join the social drinks, which are usually hosted at a cafe, but for now are done via Zoom. This is another great way to meet your fellow EUC students. I actually met another one of my roommates at one of these social drinks. Another thing which is truly interesting about EUC is the fact that we have people studying here that come from all over the world. About 50% of our students are international and 50% are Dutch. All of the countries that are colored orange are the countries where our EUC students come from. And as you can see, we come from all over the world. Each year, we admit a maximum of 218 students. This is quite small, which also makes sure that you have a chance to get to know all of your peers. It is really fun to meet so many different people. For example, I am Dutch and have lived here in the Netherlands my whole life, and now I'm actually living with one girl that is from France and two that are from Lithuania. I noticed that because of this, that I'm learning so much more about these countries, as well as that they all speak fluent French, and because of that, I am now actually trying to learn French. There's just no other way to describe EUC than by saying that we are a close-knit community. Our many events, such as our annual end-of-year barbecue, is one of the reasons why this is the case. You get to talk to people that you might not have talked to before. It is not only the students that make this community, but also the staff of EUC. At the annual end-of-year barbecue, we also have a pub quiz, where students can compete against the faculty of EUC. It is especially nice that, because we do this type of thing, that you can easily talk to anyone, whether this is a staff member or a fellow student. Everyone is always really easy to approach and it's always fun to talk to. A lot of activities are student-led, but also the staff is involved in creating events. A couple of years ago, Bertien Kuiper, who was our admissions officer, hosted karaoke events. I do think that this goes to show that it does not matter whether you are a student or staff at EUC, we all experience the many things that EUC has to offer together.
Thank you, Victoria. Do you have the impression that our university college is exactly the right education for you? Then let's now look into our application procedure. First, check if you fulfill our entry criteria. Do your high school grades belong to the upper half of your class, including your mathematics and English grades? And would you describe yourself as a curious, open-minded student? Then you should certainly consider an application. For our intake in 2021, we have two deadlines, 15th of January and the 1st of May. I would advise you to go for the first deadline, but if you still need some more time to look around, the second deadline is also fine. We always reserve some places for this deadline. If you're interested in an application or you'd like to get a bit more background information, please also use the opportunities of our Virtual Experience Day or sign up as a student for a day. The information there might help you to make up your mind. Thank you very much for your interest. I hope to meet you in one of our virtual sessions, or even better, as one of our students in 2021. I wish you all the best and please stay healthy.